Yeah, John and Shannon, right now we are actually outside of the town of Levita, just a little bit, taking a look at the fire. If I step out of the frame here, you can see exactly what we're looking at here. Obviously, the smoke being a huge issue right now. If you take a look closely, too, you can see planes making airdrops from above. We've actually been watching this for the last few minutes here. So far, we've counted 3 or 4 planes that have been making drops from above in this area right now. Also, I'm sure you can hear, too, the winds have begun to pick up. Take a look, too. It looks like the plane is about to kind of fly over us here, if we can get a shot of that while it's kind of going over. Definitely been seeing this take place throughout the last few minutes here. The firefight is becoming something that's obviously really big here as it gets closer and closer to the town of Levita. That being said, though, we've been talking to the people of Levita. Here's what they had to say. It started up again right as we arrived. Spring fire flare-ups threatening the town of Levita. Smoke was difficult to see in the dark skies, but as the hazy sun began to rise, more and more smoke from this fire could be seen funneling into the valley. We continued to watch the ridge as the fire ebbed and flowed, rising and falling with the morning breeze. In town, people worried about what may happen to their homes.
There'll be a lot of people out of homes, so it'd be messed up.
The Christie family are only one of many who spent all of last night packing up their cars in preparation.
This has got like all of our blankets and trunks and bags in there.
See, we got most of our essentials, blankets, pillows, medicine.
For many, though, life is the main essential.
Lives, our life, so that's about it you can do.
Watching the flames come over the ridge, some families were concerned.
Oh, everybody's just kind of
just a little nervous.
Tense, but they're just kind of watching to see what happens.
Yeah.
While others were trying to keep a cool head.
And there's no reason to panic. You have to keep a level head. And that's kind of the way I look at things.
And until final orders are given, life goes on in the town of Levita. And the darker smoke actually behind me, too, is where we've been seeing flames pop up for the past few minutes. It was kind of ebbing and flowing, flaring a little bit just minutes ago. So something that we've been keeping an eye on, of course, as well as these airdrops and this wind that you can tell has really picked up here in the Levita area. Now, that being said, too, our own Casey Kirshner is at a press conference right now where we're hopefully getting some updated numbers, some updated acreage. So we'll make sure to bring you all that information. She'll be live here at 12:30, so make sure to stay right here on KRDO. For now, we are live in Levita. Danny Freed, KRDO News Channel 13.
And Danny, has it disturbed folks that they haven't been able to get a number of homes, a number of buildings that have been burned yet? That number seems to be elusive.
Yeah, it's definitely disturbed a lot of people. If you guys kind of were watching yesterday during the press conference, people were getting a little frustrated. Even talking to people in town, we've been seeing a lot of people go up to sheriff's cars, police cars, state troopers, anybody, just asking, if there's any information that they can provide. So right now, yeah, any information is what really people, especially here in Levita, are looking for.
Okay.
Danny, we know that the Fort Garland Blanca Community Center has been set up as a shelter. And with fires like this, we often see accommodations made for animals, livestock. Have you heard any information on that?
Yeah, definitely. Have also been hearing about places you can bring your livestock. Have also been hearing that the cart team might be brought in from Pueblo. We actually been talking to ranchers too, because right now, kind of at the outskirts of Levita where we are, there's a lot of ranch territory. They've been herding their cattle, making sure that all their animals are being taken to safe spots around town. So there are animal services in town that are taking care of some of those animals and making sure they're in safe places. Cart will probably be called in from Pueblo here pretty soon too.
The wind now gently blows the chimes on the Taylor's deck as Greg and Teresa look out onto their scorched landscape.
This is all burnt. This whole area is burnt.
The smell of smoke still lingers.
It smells like burned.
But amidst the blackened trees and ash-covered earth, the Taylor family cabin remains.
The cabin didn't burn and all our neighbors because I prayed.
This was our wood splitting pile. This is where we split wood back here. Right here, you can kind of see it went to that corner and it stopped at these rocks. These rocks, my dad set these rocks right here. And it went right up there to that corner. There's a little bit on the edge of it, but not much.
This as just across the way, neighbors' homes demolished.
I had a lot of memories of my grandma and grandpa up here, and so when you just come up here and you see everything burned and people who lost everything. I mean, it's just really sad.
But here at the Taylor's cabin, it's clear someone was watching over them.
With Grandma and Grandpa just up here knowing how much it means to us, and just like I said, our faith in God and God just blessing us that, we were able to keep the cabin.
It's with an ache in their hearts for those who lost their homes that the Taylors carry on.
Thousands of teachers rallying first in Civic Center Park. When public ed is under attack. Mainly here for more school funding, better pay, and reforms to the state pension system that has unfunded liabilities in the billions.
We put a lot of time and effort into these kids and really love them, and we feel like we should get the time we put in out of it.
Plenty of teachers traveling from southern Colorado as well.
As I stand here, I can think about all of the kids that I could have seen in class today, and I would much rather be with them. But this is so important that we all had to be here.
Education is a right. I'm using my own money, to support my classroom. It's just sad.
But a big question on many people's minds, where would that budget funding come from?
I think it's a great question for the legislatures.
It's a difficult situation that everyone's put in. Everyone wants to point the finger and they don't want to fund it. I would say maybe use the marijuana taxes.
Some of those students unable to go to class here with parents and teachers. And the Colorado Springs teacher community only makes up a tiny fraction of the teachers here standing side by side marching toward the Capitol.
I think showing up here today is changing the narrative from teacher pay to student funding.
The Colorado Education Association addressing potential future plans, hopeful for some movement.
We have a ballot measure coming up, Amendment 93, that is coming up in the fall, and so hopefully people will be paying attention to that.
Again, I would much rather be in my classroom today with all of my kids, and yet I need to be here for them.
This a big step in a normally small march each year as Colorado teachers try to find a way to have their demands met.
Order shots fired in the area. At the same time, the security guard at 101 South Union is calling in saying they heard shots fired in the area as well.
2:45 and several reports of shots fired had Colorado Springs police officers rushing to the scene off Bonfoy and Boulder.
The male was firing random shots in the area. He had a gun in his waistband.
It was only moments later when officers arrived to the scene that shots rang out once again and the horror began.
You be medical here now, get officer down. Hurry up, get up here. You got a gunshot wound to the head, get him here now.
The suspect not far also shot, sustaining a non-life-threatening injury.
Suspect is hit as well. Suspect is here. He's on the ground. We're here with him now. I don't know where he's at yet. Don't move.
When we arrived, we were kept back from the initial crime scene, still piecing together what little information we could gather. It wasn't until 4:45 that Jackie Kirby with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office confirmed an officer had been hit, was in critical condition, and was undergoing surgery. The scene was then being combed over by the Sheriff's Office's Deadly Force Investigation Team.
We will process the scene just like we would anything else, and that will interview the witnesses, and that will give us a better picture and understanding of what happened today.
That officer, Jem Duzel, a 5-year veteran of the force.
It's very, very hard. We've got people on scene that, put on their badge every day. They serve and protect this community, and they know that one of their brother in arms is now critically injured, and they've still got to press on and do their job and protect the community.
Although the Sheriff's Office has taken over this investigation, both CSPD and CSP are doing what they can to help here and to make sure they're helping their brother in blue. Reporting in Colorado Springs, Danny Freed, KRDO News Channel 13. You may have grown up doing fire drills or seeing fire alarms in your schools like this one, but now these lockdown alarms are being seen in more and more schools around the Canyon City School District. At Harrison Elementary and Middle School, students are excited for their first day, already jumping right in.
Good morning! We got to meet some new students and show them kind of around the classroom and where everything is.
Parents are looking forward to the school year too, knowing that this year more measures have been taken to ensure their child's safety.
With the double security doors we have, the new alert system, it gives you an extra piece about the school year.
It's a project Paula Booser says the district has been working on all summer. It can be seen as soon as you walk up to the building with exterior tint on the windows.
The main doors are unlocked during the school day.
And then we have a second set of doors that are locked during the school day. In order to gain access into the building, the visitor will come over to the visitor's window, which is manned by one of our secretaries. They will submit their ID to the secretary. She'll take it and she will give them a badge.
Along with the new doors comes that new alarm system alerting students and teachers to outside danger.
If it's the lockdown alarm that's pushed, it's the bottom light, which will flash blue.
And it's more than just the hardware. Harrison School has been working on teaching students about this in the classroom for years.
We want schools that first and foremost are thinking about how do we keep ourselves safe. So it's a lot about human behavior too.
This program is helping students feel safe the second they walk through those doors.
I feel like because we have more security, we have a better chance of being safer, and because of that, we have a good chance of nothing bad happening throughout the school year.
And districts all over Colorado are looking to implement security measures like these ones, making for an easy school day for your child and peace of mind for you. In Canyon City, Danny Freed, KRDO News Channel 13. Yeah! The second Colorado ski resort has opened.
And first year they just broke the ribbon.
And skiers and riders with some familiar faces can have an easy, fun-filled day enjoying the runs Loveland has to offer.
First day, opening day. Only been riding 3 years. Only rode here. No place like home.
Loveland is my home mountain.
But for these guys, it's not all fun and games.
Opening morning, we always come in and see what Mother Nature gave us, or see what the mountain looks like, and then it's kind of a big push right in the first early part of the morning.
Just looking to grab a few patrollers and some shovels.
Our day started off with routine beginning of the season maintenance.
One for me, one for you.
Awesome. Making sure skiers and boarders know their boundaries.
So we had some snowmaking equipment blow some snow over one of our permanent boundary ropes. So we want to make sure those are always maintained, so we need to go through and dig that rope out.
And before we knew it, the whole crew was there to help.
Everybody shows up to get a good start on the season.
We roped off another area at the bottom of the mountain and took a peek at the storage room for all the rope used at Loveland.
This will barely be enough, so we might have to make more.
And of course, the day wouldn't be complete
No, it is what it is.
without its hiccups. Luckily for this guy, there was no serious injury, just some broken snowboard bindings.
So we've been following Ski Patrol now for a few hours, and my gosh, it is quite the day for them. They never really take a break, but a lot of it isn't all just hard work. Plenty of it's fun too.
It's the glamorous part of Ski Patrol. Standing, digging, standing. You need to make a video that's just mostly people making fun of each other.
And even though they seem like the bad guys on the mountain, that's not how they see it.
You know, we love to ski just as much as anybody else, and you know, that's a big reason why we do the job.
But at the end of the day, it's what they've been through together that bonds them as a team.
Sometimes we have to keep each other alive, so it's interesting, it's a good work dynamic, definitely.
At Loveland Ski Resort, Danny Freed, KRDO News Channel 13. Meet Bo, one of the Avalanche patrol dogs, making Loveland a safer place for skiers and boarders. Bo has been working with his human Mike Halicek for 4 years now, and once the backcountry opens, the tough work begins.
The Bo hangs out up top because one of the best places for a helicopter to land is off the ridge top.
On a day-to-day basis, Bo and Mike make the rounds on the slopes, riding the lifts up and making routine checks.
Day to day, we try to get in what we call runaways, and they're quick, simple drills where we get him real excited and then have the person run away, hide, and have him run in search.
But once that ridge opens,
It's pretty essential that we have someone like this.
Bo needs to rely on one very important tool.
His nose is so vital towards avalanche search and rescue.
And his training to ensure people's safety and recovery.
So that person's in that hole, 1 or 2 or 3 people maybe are buried in that avalanche debris, and then we come in with Bo.
And for those stranded under the crushing grips of rushing snow, Bo may be their only hope.
The dog, you know, that's their only chance of survival or closure for the family.
Mike and Bo's partnership makes the teamwork of saving lives seamless, so you don't have to worry
Good job.
when taking your turns in the backcountry.
We have such a great connection. I could read what he's thinking just by his facial expressions. I mean, we know each other so well.
At Loveland Ski Resort,
He likes to slide and roll.
Danny Freed, KRDO News Channel 13.
Clouds hang over Pine Creek High School as students and staff remember an assistant softball coach who was killed yesterday morning in a head-on collision. It was 1:30 in the morning when Peyton Rydell and her passenger Victoria Stevenson were hit head-on by 22-year-old Megan Mann, who had fallen asleep at the wheel. 25-year-old Peyton was killed.
It hits hard.
Assistant Principal Jim Lucas told us he was shocked when he heard the news.
My daughter played softball for her for 2 years, and so that relationship's built. So to hear that happen, you sink.
In her short few years working at the school, Peyton built a strong reputation, both on and off the softball field.
A young, energetic, fresh out of college, person who was wanting to get involved and give back to kids in the community through the sport that she loved and had a passion for.
She built relationships with the kids, very vivacious, very bubbly, contagious personality, looking to have fun and looking to make the student athletes, the softball players, better players in the long run.
Although the field is empty for now, her legacy will live on through each pitch, home run, and player here at the Pine Creek High School Stadium. In Colorado Springs, Danny Freed, KRDO News Channel 13.